All right, guys, chess fans, welcome to another episode of Over the Board Games. It's Thursday morning, the 13th of February, I believe. Yes, it was the third day of the Thursday morning competition at my local chess club. I played against a gentleman who last season was somewhere at the bottom of the competition, but he's a feisty player. Um, as in, yeah, he can be quite aggressive and attacking. But I also know I've never played it before, by the way. But from what I've seen when I looked at his games, he likes to attack and get to your side of the board behind your enemy lines. But I've also noticed that he blunders quite often, loses pieces. Every time I look at his games, he's down material at a certain point in the game. So I had that in the back of my mind to play solid, keep everything defended, and wait for my opponent to make a mistake. Um, because the first two games this season I lost, I'm not in the best of my performance. My performance is not the best at the moment. Lost the first two games on the Thursday. Monday competition isn't going too good either. And online, same story. So just slowly have to get out of this streak and get get better again. So there was some pressure because I was currently ranked out of 18 people. He was ranked number 18 and I was ranked number 17. So the pressure was on for me to deliver. And I knew I had a good chance, but I also knew that I had to be careful because he's somehow a bit unpredictable. So here we go. This is the game. Let me grab it. I'm playing with black, and I'm playing opponent obviously then with white. So he brought out the e4 pawn. I chose the center. He's attacking the pawn. I'm defending. It's all basic stuff. He brought out this pawn rather than this pawn. So I considered grabbing this pawn, but I thought like if I do that, let me just get rid of these. I thought if I grab this, he might attack, and if I have to retreat, this pawn is weak. And then I thought like, okay, well maybe if I'm here and he comes here, I can defend. But then I thought like if he tries to push my knight away again, I'd still have to go. Yeah, I still have to go somewhere where this pawn is undefended because then there would be two attackers. Yeah, so I thought like, okay, well, leave it. I knew I was gonna go build up a strong pawn center, uh, which is good, but I also noticed that the downside is that you're not developing your pieces. And these two pawns, even though they're strong in the center, also become a target. So that was I was going for. The computer actually recommends grabbing this pawn the way I thought about it. I'll show you. This is not what happened, but this is the way the computer does it. Grab it and defend your knight. But then I thought like if he brings out this pawn, I'm gonna have to go either here or here, and this pawn is only defended once. Yeah, so because I was trying to play solid and not do any crazy stuff because I did really wanted to win. I thought like just leave it. I'm not gonna go pawn grabbing. I'll just play solid, develop the pieces, and I'll probably get the pawns later on. So this is what happened. And just retreating my yeah, I did actually consider going for a check, but then he either block it with his knight or his bishop, and it's all defended, so it's be trading pieces. And obviously I didn't want to go for a trading all the pieces and going into an endgame and maybe get like a draw. I really wanted to win. So That's what I did. So now this pawn is protected once and attacked once. So I thought like put on the pressure. First castle. Oh, hang on. Pressed the wrong button. Wanted to move on. Wanted to go back one move, not go back to the beginning. That's what happened. Yeah, he wanted me to challenge the center. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I did think about it, but I didn't do it. So just make a space for the bishop to come out, which doesn't have any good places to go at the moment. Can't go here because of a fork. Can't go here, can't go here. So I have to go here. I thought like, well, leave the bishop for now and it'll come into the game later. He wasn't really developed either, just with, well, he's a bit developed now, but anyway, this is a mistake, and reason being is, yes, yeah. I did consider, but I didn't see, because he wanted me to go here, I believe, I'll show you in a minute, and then grab this defender of the pawn, and I can win a pawn. But I thought like, okay, well, do I really want to give up my bishop for a pawn? Because this is what I wanted to do. Grab the defender and grab a pawn. But I thought like, well, no, I don't really want to give up my bishop for a, just to get a pawn. So I thought like I'm gonna get this pawn other way. This is a tactic I missed, because this is a blunder. I'll show you what I could have done. This loses a pawn, because I'm going to show you now what happens, what the computer thinks. It didn't really happen in the game, because he did want to. Oh yeah, it doesn't show you the whole way, but what would have happened if he would have recaptured me, I think, is I bring the bishop out, pinning the knight to the queen, and doesn't really matter what the opponent does. I'm going to win this knight with the tempo on the queen, because the bishop is then defended by the rook. But yeah, I didn't see that. I'm actually doing a lot more puzzles at the moment, trying to learn more of the tactics, because I do miss quite a few tactics here and there. But I've only just started since a week, so it'll come. So now I've got 3 attackers on this pawn, and he's got 2 defenders, the queen and the knight. Yeah, this is just winning a pawn. So I'm currently up 2.4 points, but the game is up and down, because he's gonna eventually gain control over the match again, because I made a mistake. Obviously I did see potential threat on my queen, even though if he would have moved his knight, I could have grabbed this bishop, which would have been attacked twice. But yeah, Stockfish said, which I also thought, like maybe bring out the bishop with the tempo on the queen and take it from there. But I was a bit on the safe side, because I really didn't want to lose this game or draw. I really wanted to win. So which might not be the best way to play, but so I thought like get out of this pin, not pin, but discovered attack. Even though nothing really could have happened, because if he would have brought the knight out, yeah, if I would have just done anything and he would have brought his knight out, I could have just captured it. So anyway, I wanted to be safe. So then he's putting on the pressure. I'm actually still a little bit ahead, but he's eyeing on the queen again. So I thought, okay, let's get out. This was a mistake, because now he can put tempo on the queen again. And I didn't really have any good squares to go. In hindsight, I might have, maybe I should have gone here. If he would have traded, okay, I would have had an isolated pawn, but I now went here, which is yeah, he wanted me to go here. Yeah, indeed, that would have been better because now he grabs the queen. I cannot recapture with my knight because that would leave my rook undefended. And I did actually see it a little bit too late because now obviously I have to recapture with the bishop and this pawn is hanging. So I was up a pawn and now we're equal. So evaluation bar says equal. So now the shuffling around begins, and I really this part of the game is taking a long time. We were actually playing for 1 hour and 15 minutes both. So we each have 1 hour and 15 minutes, no increment, no extra time. Eventually, I went down to 7 minutes, and my opponent to about 10 or something. So this is like a game where we were shuffling, creating some threats and counter threats, and I was just thinking, okay, let's keep everything defended, not give anything away, and wait for his mistake. Because I didn't actually see any threats. The only threat I could see is like his rook is here and can't go anywhere. So if I can get my bishop here, then I can attack. But obviously it's defended. But I was thinking about ways to, and I saw like this is pinned to the rook, but defended by the bishop. So I thought like maybe if I can go here with my bishop, I can threat something. But it was all not very substantial. It was all like a bit okay. It'd be good if he would exactly do what I want him to do, but obviously he wasn't going to. So it's a lot of shuffling around the pieces. And now he puts his two rooks in line with each other. So I thought like, okay, this is becoming a bit of a more of a threat, but obviously this pawn is in the way. So I did consider going here. But also this bishop is just a pain in the ass. So I thought like I can go and tease this away. But my main problem was he has two bishops, and I was kind of worried that one of my rooks was going to get trapped because of his two colored bishops. Obviously, I had the same, but to be honest, he was attacking a little bit more than I was at this point. So I thought, like, let's trade the bishop because my bishop wasn't doing anything here, and his bishop was really annoying. So that's always a good reason to trade. He didn't want to have it, and now I thought, like, okay, hang on. Now I have a clear plan. If I can bring my bishop here, I'm forking these two rooks, but the knight is in the way. So I thought like if I can bring my bishop out here, get rid of the knight, then go here and bring a fork. That was an idea, but so I did, and he obviously must have seen this tactic. So he got out of the way. So that was one of my plans gone down the drain. So this is like a whole lot of shuffling around, and I thought like, oh, time is running low. Let's trade some pieces and see what happens. It wasn't the best idea because now Stockfish thinks I'm quite a bit behind by 3 points, I think. Yeah, nearly 3 points. I just wanted to get the knight out of here because obviously if you would have captured it, I would have had double pawns, which is not nice. Even though the queens are off the board and not like a life-threatening situation, double of pawns obviously are weak, especially because they're isolated also. So I thought like I might reroute it here and see what happens. So just shuffling around, trying to find some. Oh yeah, and obviously now, hang on. Now he denied his the rook trade, which is fair enough. I didn't really want to trade either because I wanted to keep my pieces on the board and go for a win. Yeah, so I love shuffling around. He's attacking the knight, and I did think it could potentially be a problem. I'm not quite sure anymore why. Because I thought if he grabs this, I can obviously recapture. Can't remember. Anyway, I obviously did want to improve the position of my knight because it wasn't doing anything there other than protecting this pawn, but is protected now by the rook. Yeah, so shuffling around, he's obviously giving a threat on this pawn and protecting. He wanted me to go there, protect and attack. Okay, makes sense. We're equal. Now actually he's still slightly ahead by 1.3 pawn. I didn't see his idea, which makes a threat, but he's not able to convert on it. He's not. He's threatening me, but in the next couple of moves, but it doesn't lead to anything. I thought like just explain the reason of this pawn. Bring out this knight, attacking the bishop, and if he would capture the bishop, I would have undoubled. I would have captured with the pawn, and then I could put this pawn here, and I've had connected pawns again. That was my idea. Yeah, so he brings his rook here, attacking this pawn. So obviously not attacking the bishop, by the way, which I thought initially. I thought my bishop was trapped, but it's defended. So I can't really go here because then he could grab my bishop with a discovered check. So only one place to go to defend this pawn. And now he's bringing out some more troops. Stockfish doesn't like this at all. This overlooks opportunity to win a tempo, threatening a bishop, winning tempo. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, fair enough. Anyway, this actually does get into a position where I'm starting to eventually get into a winning position. So maybe against a stronger player, this wouldn't have worked. He gives me a check. So I obviously thought like, well, if I step out of the way, this is a free pawn, but this bishop is hanging. And I thought like if he has to move this bishop, I can, it would have been a bit difficult if he'd done the right thing, to be honest, because if he would have just moved his bishop here or here, there wouldn't have been a way to, hang on, let me just see. Oh, there would have been. No. Obviously, I couldn't have gone here. And now I'm still threatening this. And he moves it to here, but I think if he moved it here, then this would have been I could have just moved the pawn up. Okay, no sweat. Now we're equal again because Stockfish doesn't like this move. It's dead equal. It doesn't give any threats. And now I can go back up here again or here because and here basically attacking the rook and defending the pawn because he's not here anymore with a potential discovered check. And then he couldn't go back here anymore because he's defended by the knight. And this is where he fumbled. So this was why I just wanted to play on the safe side, knowing that he normally, in all the games I looked at him, he does eventually blunder a piece away. And so now he brings the defender for the rook, but now I can attack the defender, so which is like a remove the defender tactic. So now he is to choose to either give up his bishop or his rook, because obviously if he removes his bishop, then there's nowhere he can attack. No attack here, no attack here. Here's just being captured, here's just being captured. If he removes the bishop, I can grab the I'm not sure if... Yeah, it's going. Yeah. I had to plug in the battery of the laptop, and then I paused it, and I nearly accidentally stopped it, and then I wasn't quite sure if it was still running. It is running, but now I've lost the train of thoughts. Yeah. So anyway, he had to decide to either give up his bishop or the rook. So he thought like, well, maybe I can. I did actually think about this move, but obviously now I can just grab the bishop for free. He removes the rook, obviously. And I did see that he could take my knight, then I would have connected the pawns again. So I was quite happy if we would have done it. And now I'm just putting him in a fork, which is beneficial for me because now I'm just going to exchange the pieces down and get into a great endgame. So this is what happens. And I thought like, well, offer a rook trade, which he didn't do. And then I thought like, I just thought of some other ways, and he's obviously now attacking this, but it's defended once, twice. So I thought like, bring the rook over here, forcing a trade. He steps out of the way, bring my rook out anyway. He accepts my trade, so now it's an easy endgame. He temporarily gives away a pawn. He wants to grab it again, which he does. And obviously now I can choose between these two, but I opt for this one. And this is where he resigned with 10 minutes on the clock, and I had 7. So any hopes of winning on time are gone because this is now hanging, this is hanging, and he's already got 3 against 4, and there's at least 1, probably 2 gonna fall, and this is nowhere. This is not being able to promote. So he resigned, which I think is a fair decision. So this was my game. So it was exciting up till the time when he blundered his bishop, because I really didn't want to lose again, and I didn't see any great tactics, even though there were some apparently. So it was just a waiting game for him to make a mistake, and waiting to see if some tactics would pop up, because there weren't any clear ideas. So there you have it. So I've won and lost 2. So I climbed a bit. I know some of my opponents who are near me in this ranking have either lost or drew. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look in a minute what my position is on the ranking system. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next time I show a film over the board or eventually online again. Bye bye.